Hey, listen, we need to talk. In this video, I'm not gonna try and sell you anything. In this video, I'll try and help you sell your stuff. During the next couple of minutes, I will run you through five essential steps to turn leather into money. So get a notepad and start writing this shit down, because this is important. Number one, you have to apply yourself more. You have to work harder. Be one with the leather. Man, shut the fuck up. Tell them exactly what they need to hear. Actual points they have to go through. Don't give them that Dr. Phil bullshit. Well, that was a bit rude. But he's right. He's right, you know. You've heard this advice before. This is not this kind of video. My steps are actual things you can do, starting right now. So let's do this again. Before you do anything, make sure you have a pattern. Make sure your plan is ready. Make sure you know exactly how many holes you need. Make sure you know exactly how many pieces you need. Make sure everything regarding your project is covered, from the hardware to the size and everything else. You can't just figure things out as you go. That's not gonna work. That'll be actually more work on the long run. Have a pattern drawn up. Make it yourself. Test it before you cut the leather. Make sure all the holes match. Make sure the size is right. Make sure one side isn't bigger than the other. There are thousands, millions, well, maybe not millions, but there are a lot of free patterns out there. And sometimes they cost money, you know. But whatever you do, make sure you have a pattern, make sure you have a plan. And if that plan hasn't been tested, you go ahead and test it before you cut the leather. Use cardboard. You're smart, you can figure it out. You know. But don't use leather to test your pattern. Number two, also extremely important, have the right leather for your project. You're trying to make a wallet. You can't have the leather too thick. By the time you fold it empty, it's gonna be already a big sandwich in your pocket. All right? You want to make some medieval armor, right? You need thicker, tougher leather. Don't use the same leather you would use to make a pair of pants or, I don't know, a vest. You don't know what kind of leather you need. Ask around, come on. Just thousands of leather groups out there. I dare you to go into any of these groups and ask, hey, I want to make a leather bag. What kind of leather do you recommend? You'll get a lot of answers. You smart, I already told you you're smart. Choose the best answer or answers. And then you know. I know you knew, or maybe you're not. But take into account the type of leather you need for your project. Very important. Number three. I don't know what number three is. I gotta look it up. You have a pattern. You've chosen the right leather. Go ahead and cut that leather and then stitch it up together. Now, stitch being the most important word here. You have to learn how to do the perfect stitch. You would think it's easy. It's not, but it isn't hard either. Have a method. Go ahead, Google search through YouTube for how to stitch leather. Hundreds of tutorials out there, very good tutorials. That's how I learned. My advice to you to get that stitch, the holes, the stitching holes, have to be at the same distance from the edge. Because, let me tell you why. A stitching that's straight, that's what you want. But if your stitching is doing a little zigzag, closer, further away from the edge, that shit sticks out, man, like everybody will see it. You don't have to know leather to see a product that's got a bad stitching and say, okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. Your clients will know. They will see. Even if they don't realize it, why they don't like your product. It's the stitching. That's why. And they pass. And you lost a customer. Sorry for you. Learn how to stitch. It's important. You have your product finished. It looks okay, you can feel it. You can smell it. It's beautiful. But now you have to take pictures. Point number 4. Learn how to take better pictures. We're not in the Middle Ages, people. Clients don't just walk into your shop anymore and see for themselves what beautiful creations you've made. No, those times are gone, my friend. You gotta take pictures of your product. Don't use your phone, that's stupid. Don't use the phone. It doesn't matter what your daughter said. Hey dad, take this phone, it's a very good phone, takes great pictures. You know why she gave you that phone? She couldn't sell it. She bought a new one and she couldn't sell the old one. She gave it to you. And you think, oh my God, I have such a great camera. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can't afford a camera. Ask around. Maybe some of your friends have a good camera. Ask them to take a couple of pictures of your product. Pay them. Pay them. Photography, man, it's a job. You go to the restaurant and the guy who makes your food gets paid. The guy who takes your pictures has to be paid as well. Don't be cheap. Good pictures will sell your product. All right? You don't know how to take pictures? Learn. Have somebody else do it for you. And after you sell your first bag, don't drink away all the money. Maybe think about investing in a second-hand camera. Do you ever think about that? Buy a better camera. It doesn't have to be new. My first camera I used for photography, when I realized the phone doesn't cut it anymore, was a second-hand camera. I still have it. It lifted up my business. Photography is so important. Oh yeah, and listen, you can't place the baggages made on your bed and take pictures. Actually, I think you should go to jail for that. That is so illegal, man. Don't do that. That is... No. Have a nice background. Okay? Clear your dirty stuff from, all around. Okay? And you know what? I don't have to see your feet in the picture either. Okay? Come on. You're not a professional, but at least try and act like one. Your picture has to have your bag or whatever item you're trying to sell in it, nothing else. Oh yeah, maybe you can put a prop or two, but you're not there yet. Now, focus on this. Clear background and your picture in the middle. That's why you're not selling, because people don't see how beautiful your things are. Okay? When you take a phone with your shaky hand, it's It's no good. No good. Next point. You have a bag and you have the pictures to prove it. Well done. Well done. You're still not selling it. I'll tell you why. Because nobody knows about it. So the fifth and the last point is advertise. You have to advertising is more than just the TV spot you see during the Super Bowl. Send your picture to all your friends. Join Facebook groups. Ask the administrators, hey, can I show my stuff? People will see it. People will like it. And they'll get in touch with you. They say, hey, how much for that? How much for this? Hey, that's a nice bag, but I want something else. All of a sudden, you get custom orders. Because people know who you are. They've seen you, they've seen your work. Telling people who you are is important. All right? They want to know who the guy who makes their stuff is. I have sold a lot of my stuff because people saw me doing it. Okay? You don't have to film yourself doing it. That's my job. But you can tell everybody, hey, I made this with my own hands. I went and bought the leather myself. All right? I cut, stitch everything together. People go, whoa, you did that? Yes, I did. Before I did this full time, I used to be a concierge on a cruise ship. Can you imagine that? My phone is ringing, hang on. Where were we? Yeah, advertisement. Tell people who you are, what you do. Have a Pinterest account. Post your pictures there, that's free. Instagram. Learn how to tag your picture, okay? Nobody knows who you are, but they know the tag that you put on your picture, all right? It's easier to find you. All these things matter, okay? You selling on Etsy, you might consider advertising there. So that was my 5 points on how to get from stuff you want to do and money. I know some of you will take my advice and use it to make money. You're welcome.